Young and the Restless Thurdays full update December 19, 2020 for the division begins. Sally and Billy. Sally Spectra had always been a polarizing figure, a woman who managed to charm her way into lives and situations only to leave chaos in her wake. This time, she had set her sights on the growing tension between Billy Abbott and his brother Jack Abbott. Sally knew exactly where to prod to make the fracture between the Abbott brothers grow into a full-blown rift, and she delivered her poison with skillful precision. Pulling Billy aside, her voice smooth and persuasive, she planted a seed of doubt so carefully that it felt like an irrefutable truth. "Haven't you noticed, Billy?" she whispered. "Jack isn't running Genoa like it's a family company anymore. He's running it like it's his empire. Do you really think he doesn't want it all? That he isn't trying to squeeze you out?" Billy, whose frustrations had already been simmering beneath the surface, couldn't ignore the insinuation. Sally knew he felt undervalued, overlooked by his older brother. She twisted the knife further, reminding Billy of his rightful stake in Genoa's legacy, a company that belonged to all the Abbotts, not just Jack. "You deserve more," she told him. "Don't let Jack hoard everything while you stand in his shadow. You're an Abbott, too, Billy. Act like it." It was a devastating manipulation, and it worked. The trust between Billy and Jack had always been fragile, a delicate balance of respect and rivalry. Sally's words tipped it off kilter. For Billy, the thought that Jack might truly be consolidating power at Genoa stung, not just as a businessman, but as a brother. And as that thought grew into anger, Billy cut ties with Jack, severing a bond that had kept the Abbott family from splintering completely. Sally's plan was clear: cause chaos, turn brother against brother, and watch as the fallout opened opportunities she could seize for herself. Her true nature, the schemer and manipulator, was finally beginning to shine through. Sally Spectra was back in the game, and she wasn't playing nice. Ashley, Diane, and the future of Genoa. While Billy and Jack's relationship began to fracture, Ashley Abbott took a far different approach. Ever the pragmatist, Ashley saw the growing turmoil within her family and decided to confront it head-on. She paid an unexpected visit to Diane Jenkins Abbott, surprising the woman who had once been her rival but was now a critical piece of the Abbott puzzle. In a rare moment of sincerity and calm, Ashley laid out her vision for the future of Genoa. "Diane, we can't keep fighting," Ashley said, her tone measured. "This company, this family, won't survive if we're always at war with each other. You and I have had our battles, but we both know what's at stake here. Jack and Kyle need us to hold this family together. And whether we like it or not, you might be the only one who can." It was an unexpected olive branch, and Ashley's words carried weight. She acknowledged Diane's role not as a threat but as a stabilizing force, someone who could bring peace to the Abbott family and, in turn, protect Genoa's legacy. Ashley's proposal was simple: mutual respect and a shared understanding. If Diane could help Jack and Kyle reconcile their differences, if she could bring balance to the chaos that threatened to tear the Abbotts apart, then there was hope for a stronger future. For once, Ashley believed Diane could rise to the occasion. "We need to stop looking at each other as enemies," Ashley added. "The Abbott name is bigger than any of us. It's time we acted like it." Her words left Diane thoughtful. For the first time, Diane saw herself not as an outsider but as someone who could secure the Abbott family's future, if only she played her cards right. Kyle and Claire, a complicated dance. Meanwhile, in the midst of the family turmoil, Kyle Abbott was entangled in his own emotional storm. His relationship with Claire Newman had taken a sudden and passionate turn. They had crossed a line, sharing a night together that, for Kyle, meant far more than just physical intimacy. Fueled by the lingering chaos with his mother and father, Kyle found himself drawn to Claire in ways he hadn't expected. She was calm where his life was turbulent, mysterious where everything else felt predictable. And so, in a moment of vulnerability, Kyle confessed his feelings to Claire. "I don't want this to just be a moment," he told her softly. "I care about you, Claire. I want more than this, more than just one night." But Claire wasn't ready to give him the answer he hoped for. Despite their connection, Claire was hesitant, guarded even. She knew that what had happened between them was complicated, and she wasn't willing to let Kyle's emotional needs dictate her decisions. "Kyle," she replied, her voice gentle but firm. "What we did, it doesn't mean I'm ready for something more." "Not yet." Her words stung, but Claire wasn't cruel. She knew Kyle's confession was genuine, but for her, their night together had been a moment of comfort, not a promise of a future. Claire's own life was too uncertain, too entangled in the shadows of her past and the ever-present threat of Jordan and Ian Ward. For now, she couldn't offer Kyle what he wanted. Still, Kyle wasn't ready to give up. Claire represented something he desperately needed: stability, connection, and hope. Whether she wanted to admit it or not, the spark between them was real, and Kyle was determined to see it through. The Abbott family on the brink. As the days unfolded, the Abbott family found itself pulled in opposite directions. Sally's manipulations threatened to destroy Billy and Jack's already fragile bond. Ashley's surprising alliance with Diane offered hope for peace and unity, but could it hold? And Kyle's growing connection to Claire was as fragile as it was complicated. With secrets, betrayal, and ambitions simmering beneath the surface, one thing was clear: the Abbotts were once again teetering on the brink of collapse. Whether they would rise stronger together or fall apart remained to be seen. But with players like Sally Spectra pulling strings and unresolved family tensions boiling over, nothing in Genoa City was certain. For now, fans would have to wait and watch as the drama unfolded, one emotional bombshell at a time. The Abbott family's future hung in the balance, and with every move, the stakes grew higher. In the turbulent landscape of Genoa City, where relationships rise and fall like tides, two of its most complicated souls, Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers, are slowly being drawn together. Broken, restless, and often misunderstood, they are two people who have danced on the edge of chaos for most of their lives. Now, as fate begins to align their paths, their love story may be the unexpected lifeline they both desperately need. Billy and Phyllis, a second chance at redemption for Billy. Life has been one long roller coaster of highs and devastating lows. From failed business ventures to crumbling relationships, he's carried the weight of both his mistakes and his endless desire to prove himself. He's been a man in freefall, yearning for someone who would see beyond his reputation and recognize his worth. Someone who would believe in him. Enter Phyllis Summers, a woman as fiercely resilient as she is flawed. Phyllis has had her own struggles, particularly in recent months. Her vendettas, her desperation for control, and her burning desire to prove herself right have isolated her. Her feuds with Diane Jenkins and Sharon Newman may have kept her distracted, but they've also left her lonely and vulnerable. Deep down, Phyllis longs for someone to lean on, someone who doesn't judge her past or call her a villain. She needs a man who understands her battles because he's fought similar ones himself. That man, it seems, might just be Billy Abbott. As their paths cross again, their connection becomes undeniable. They're kindred spirits, two people who have suffered loss, disappointment, and alienation. Where others see their chaos and instability, Billy and Phyllis see understanding and potential. Billy needs a partner who trusts him, someone to remind him that he's capable of building a future worth fighting for. And Phyllis needs a man who won't give up on her, a steady presence who sees the woman she is beneath all the bluster and bravado. Sally Spectra, for all her charm, was never truly right for Billy. Sally's ambitions and schemes are too self-serving, her loyalties too thin. She couldn't offer Billy the foundation he needs to rebuild his life. With Phyllis, however, it's different. Their relationship may not be simple, no relationship ever is in Genoa City, but it's real, raw, and filled with possibility. Together, they might find the redemption they've both been chasing for far too long. Claire's mysterious letter, Jordan's cry for help while Billy and Phyllis teeter on the edge of something new, another mystery begins to unravel elsewhere. Claire Newman, still trying to find her footing after the chaos Jordan and Ian Ward caused, receives a letter, one that immediately sends chills down her spine. The handwriting is unmistakable, it's Jordan's. The elegant curves of the letters, the precise phrasing, it all points to the woman who once manipulated her life into near ruin. But this letter isn't what Claire expects. Instead of threats or cryptic musings, the words read as a plea for help. "Claire, I need you. You're the only one who can save me. Please don't ignore this. I'm in trouble. Claire reads the words over and over, her brow furrowed in confusion. This couldn't be real. Jordan had always been the puppet master, the one pulling strings and orchestrating chaos from the shadows. The thought of her needing help, of her being vulnerable, felt impossible. And yet, something about the letter unsettled Claire. There was a desperation in the words that felt genuine, as if Jordan's walls were finally beginning to crumble. But what kind of trouble could Jordan possibly be in? Could Ian Ward, her longtime partner in manipulation and destruction, have turned on her? Had she pushed someone too far and become the hunted instead of the hunter? Or was this just another one of her twisted games, a way to lure Claire into her web again? Claire wasn't sure what to believe. Her instincts told her to burn the letter and walk away, but her heart, a heart still scarred by Jordan's manipulations, wasn't so quick to dismiss it. What if Jordan truly was in danger? What if ignoring the letter led to something even worse? Claire couldn't shake the feeling that this letter was the beginning of something darker, something she wasn't ready for. Genoa City on edge as Claire debated her next move. Genoa City buzzed with unspoken tension. Billy and Phyllis, united by their shared struggles, began to explore a relationship that could either heal them or destroy them entirely. Would their love be the fresh start they needed, or would their past mistakes drag them back into chaos? Kyle Abbott, still caught between his fractured relationship with his mother Diane and his unresolved feelings for Claire, watched as his family and his own life spiraled in unexpected ways. And now, with Jordan's mysterious letter hanging over Claire like a dark cloud, the question remained, was Jordan truly in danger, or was this yet another carefully orchestrated trap? In a city where trust is rare and secrets are currency, nothing stays hidden for long. Billy and Phyllis's relationship would soon face its own tests, while Claire's decision about Jordan's letter would set off a chain reaction that no one could predict. For now, all Genoa City could do was wait. Watching as love, betrayal, and redemption once again collided in the lives of its most unforgettable residents. One thing was certain, the drama was far from over. The next chapter was just beginning.